Hey there, folks. Matt Schneidman coming to you with another video. This one on the skills domain. As usual, I'm going to open up skills by right-clicking and opening it in a new tab. And once I'm in there, as usual, I'm going to go to trends. And from here, taking a look at some of the success indicators to see how they've changed. If you watch the other videos, you'll know that I do this for each of the domains. Good way if you're just quickly looking through and want to see where there might be some data points that show growth or maybe show some decline. This is a good place to start if you only have a few minutes. So going back to the skills domain, some interesting places to look. There's a lot in here. I am not going to get to all of it, but a lot of good information here. So I like teacher frequency of learning resource use. It's one of my favorite ones. To research a topic, teachers ask questions in online networks. This coupled with another data point that we're going to take a look at, for me at least, shows how active teachers are in the way that they interact with in a digital learning environment. Are they more passive consumers of information, or are they out there trying to use these various resources to get information? So I like this one. I'm going to go to teacher foundational skill perceptions, because this is another data point that I'm a big fan of. I find good solutions when I have a problem with technology. You want, oftentimes I hear students to be problem solvers, and that needs to be modeled for them. So our teachers problem solvers as well. This is definitely one of my go-tos. Some good ones within student foundational skills, but I'm going to skip over those. And I'm going to go to teacher online skill confidence and frequency of use, because I love some of the data points within here. I'm going to look at the second one, teacher reported ease of collaborating using online documents. A couple things that I want to think about here, comparing across schools, which I have the ability to do. Or should have the ability to do, not sure why it's not showing up there, but comparing with the past is another one to see if there's some growth over time. I also like comparing this data point to the first two data points in teacher use of the 4Cs under collaboration, because often what we see is that you have numbers like this. Maybe 80% of teachers report that it's easy or very easy for them to collaborate using online documents, such as Office 365 or Google Docs, and yet you usually see 40, 50, 60, maybe even sometimes 70% of teachers saying that they never ask their students to collaborate online, using online documents. So never collaborate online with their peers, or do not ask their students to collaborate online with them. So there's a disconnect there. They feel like they have some skills, but maybe they aren't sure how to translate those skills into a classroom setting. And so if that's the case, thinking about what kinds of PD have they gotten? Have they just gotten more apps-based training? So this is Google Docs, this is what it can do, or skills-based training. Today we're going to focus on how to get your kiddos to collaborate more in a digital environment. Google Docs is going to be one of those tools that we're going to look at, and really trying to improve upon that transferability, so that they don't just feel like they can do it on their own, but they can actually apply it to a classroom of 20 or 30 kiddos. This is always interesting, because when you compare to students, this is what we see across the board. A lot more students are saying that they're doing this. Why is this important? Well, if students are doing it, if it's a tool that they use to maybe collaborate with their peers, how can teachers take advantage of those student skills? This is another one I think is so valuable to look at, teacher-reported frequency of writing reviews, blogging, or commenting. We looked at this data point first to research a topic. Teachers ask questions in online networks. For this one, also shows how active are they? Are they, passive consumers of information, or are they actively contributing to the content that's on the internet? This is a great opportunity for them to practice some things, because the more they practice, the more they feel comfortable taking part in these kinds of activities on their own. They are more likely to ask their students to do these things. And then some great new data points below: curating digital learning resources and tools, Demonstrating cultural competency is that last one, but this is another good one that I would definitely look into. And then a couple additional ones, student online skills, all of these, certainly that first one, I would definitely want to look into and to compare teacher online skills when it comes to collaboration to student online skills as well. And then looking at teacher multimedia skills and student and elementary student multimedia skills. These are always interesting data points to take a look at. Typically you find students are feeling fairly good, those elementary students, when it comes to recording and editing digital content. And here you can see downloading music to MP3 player or their phone. But this is probably one of them that I'm going to spend a little bit more time thinking about. So again, there's more in there. Feel free to poke around. Parent online skill confidence is another good one that you might take a look at just to see what kinds of skills parents say they have. Does the data suggest that they can help their kids if you're asking them to collaborate in a digital setting and maybe the kids aren't feeling as comfortable with that. Lots of good stuff in here. I'm definitely thinking about professional development. This is a good place to start, and then comparing this to the classroom domain to see where the skills and the application gap might be. So another video, this one focused on the skills domain. I hope you found it helpful.